Hi, I'm Trevor Tandy. Today I'm going to teach you how to remove and replace louvers on your Palm Beach shutters. Now, whether you have the front tilt system like the one I have here, or the TruView rear tilt system like this one here, our process is going to be the same. The only difference is how we disconnect the tilt rod from our louvers. Now, if you're looking for a video on how to replace the louvers in a hidden tilt system, that's a separate video. With that being said, let's get to our close-up camera and get started.
There's a few tools you'll need to complete this repair. You'll need a razor knife, a small flat blade screwdriver, small mallet, some painter's tape, and a cordless drill with a long shank No. 2 Robertson driver. Please note, it's only possible to complete this repair if the shutter is out of the window. Set aside the loose hinge pins. You'll need these to reinstall it later. Let's start by marking the louver we want to replace with some painter's tape. This repair is made the easiest if you remove the tilt rod completely. For front tilt rod shutters, mark the top for reference and the rail too, then pull the rod straight out to disconnect it from the louvers. For TruView rear tilt, also mark the top for reference, then disconnect the rod by prying out the connectors gently. Take care to not break the pins that attach the rod to the louvers. Our panel only has one set of hinges. We'll disassemble the side without the hinges to make it easier. If your panel has hinges on both sides, you'll need to remove one side completely to start. With the panel on a flat table or bench, we'll use our razor knife and pry off the style end caps, top and bottom. With the style caps removed, now we can remove the light block that covers the panel assembly screws. Let's mark the top of our style now. Using a No. 2 Robertson drive on our drill, we'll remove all 4 assembly screws, 2 from each end. These screws keep the side stiles attached to the top and bottom rails on every panel. With our screws removed, we will slide the stile away from the rail, and the louvers are now free to be removed. Try to leave the louvers inserted in the opposite side. Inside of each stile there are a few components: the Duratension rod that keeps louvers in place, and Duron blocks for panel and hinge reinforcement. Put these aside until we're ready to assemble the panel. Go ahead and remove the louver you've identified. Find your replacement louver. It should already have end caps on it, but if it doesn't, reuse the end caps from the one you removed. Reinsert your new louver into the stile and make sure the louver is overlapped properly and sits in the right orientation to allow for proper operation. If removing the top or bottom louver, check the entire panel and confirm that they sit opposite in their orientation. One should rest on the back of the rail light block and the other should rest in the front. Bring the side stile of the shutter back into place. Make sure it's facing the proper direction and begin reinserting the louvers into their corresponding holes. With the louvers in, let's prepare the stile with the open channel of each Duratension rod facing the louvers. Push them in with the flat blade screwdriver far enough to engage 2 louvers. Now replace the Duron blocks at each end with the flat side facing the louvers. They must be set at a depth that allows the screw holes to align. With our stile prepared with the right components, it's time to reinstall the panel assembly screws top and bottom. Hold the corner of the stile and rail firmly to prevent separation, and start with the outermost screw first. Check to make sure you've captured the Duron block and confirm that the rail and stile joint is square. We'll repeat this step until all 4 screws are installed. The last steps are to reinsert the light block to cover our assembly screws and reattach the top and bottom stile caps. You can tap them into place with a small mallet. If you've removed any hinges, it's time to reinstall those now. Find your front tilt rod, confirm that it's facing in the proper direction, and press all of the connectors back into place. It's important to not press too firmly or it will push the connector too deep into the louver slot. For the TruView rear tilt rod, also confirm the direction and press all connectors into the holes on the side of each louver. It's now time to test the operation one last time, and you have now completed a louver replacement for your Palm Beach shutters.